You've probably heard it before, that loud machine gun sound when a truck rolls past you. It's aggressive, almost annoying, and in some places, even banned. But that sound isn't a problem as it seems. It's actually saving lives. Because when an 80,000-pound truck starts going downhill, things can get dangerous fast. Regular brakes heat up, lose power, and suddenly, a stopping isn't so easy anymore. So how do truck drivers stay in control without burning their brakes out? That's where one game-changing invention stepped in, the Jake brake. Before we continue, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And let's dive into the real problem behind it all. Long before the Jake brake existed, controlling a heavy truck going downhill was a serious challenge. We're talking about vehicles weighing up to 80,000 pounds. Ash rolling down long, steep grades with nothing but traditional friction brakes to rely on. Sounds manageable until those brakes start to fail. The issue is that friction brakes work by creating heat. The more you press them, the hotter they get. On long descents, that heat builds up fast, and once brakes overheat, they lose effectiveness. This is called brake fade, and it's one of the most dangerous situations a truck driver can face. Now imagine holding down the brake pedal for miles. The system wasn't designed for that kind of constant pressure. In extreme cases, brakes could fail completely, forcing trucks into emergency escape ramps just to avoid disaster. Even worse, heavy loads made everything harder. A fully loaded truck carries massive momentum, and once it starts gaining speed downhill, stopping it becomes a real battle. Where drivers had very limited options, either ride the brakes and risk overheating, or downshift and hope the engine slows things enough. But diesel engines had a big limitation. They didn't naturally slow the truck much at all. That meant drivers were stuck relying heavily on a system that could fail under pressure. So the industry had a clear problem. Trucks needed a way to slow down without destroying their brakes. And that's exactly where one breakthrough idea stepped in and changed everything. The turning point didn't happen in a lab. It happened on the road. Back in 1931, Clessie Cummins was driving a diesel-powered truck across the country, trying to set a speed record. Everything was fine until he hit the steep descent of Cajon Pass in California. That's where things got dangerous. With a long downhill stretch ahead, should the truck struggled to slow down safely, the braking system was pushed to its limits, and it became clear that something better was needed. That moment stuck with Cummins. It wasn't just about performance anymore. It was about survival. Years later, in 1955, he began working on a solution. The idea was simple but powerful. What if the engine itself could help slow the truck down? By 1957, he had a working concept. Instead of letting compressed air inside the engine push the piston back down, he figured out a way to release that air at the perfect moment. That meant the engine would stop giving energy back and start absorbing it instead. Then came the breakthrough. In 1965, the system was officially patented. But even before that, in 1961, the first production engine brakes were already rolling out on trucks. That was the moment the industry changed for good. What started as a near disaster turned into one of the most important safety innovations in trucking history. But how does this system actually slow down something as massive as a truck without using the brakes? That's where things get really interesting. All right, now let's break this down in the simplest way possible, because this is where the magic really happens. In a normal diesel engine, air gets pulled into the cylinder, compressed by the piston, and then that compressed air helps push the piston back down. That push is what creates power and keeps the truck moving forward. But when the Jake brake is activated, everything flips. Right at the top of the compression stroke, just before the piston starts moving back down, the system opens the exhaust valves. That compressed air, it gets released instantly instead of pushing the piston. So now, instead of getting energy back, the engine loses it. And the key part is that this process keeps repeating rapidly across multiple cylinders. Each time, energy is taken away from the engine instead of being returned. That turns the engine into something completely different, a power-absorbing air compressor. Now think about what that means. The truck's forward motion is still spinning the engine, but the engine is now fighting back against that motion. That resistance is what slows the truck down. This system uses a hydraulic mechanism powered by engine oil to control the exhaust valves with precise timing. It only activates when the driver lifts off the throttle and the transmission is still engaged. No fuel is needed. No brake pads are used. Just pure mechanical resistance doing the job. And the result? Strong, controlled deceleration, especially when you need it the most. But why was this system almost necessary for diesel engines, but not for regular cars? Here's something most people don't realize. Diesel engines and gasoline engines behave very differently when you lift your foot off the accelerator. In a gasoline engine, there's a throttle valve that controls airflow. When you release the pedal, that valve closes almost completely. This creates a strong vacuum inside the engine, and that vacuum naturally resists the movement of the pistons. That resistance slows the car down. Simple, but diesel engines don't work like that. They don't use a throttle body in the same way. Air keeps flowing freely into the cylinders no matter what. So when a truck driver lets off the accelerator, there's very little natural resistance inside the engine. The pistons keep moving almost freely, and the truck just keeps rolling. That's a big problem, especially for heavy vehicles. Without strong engine braking, diesel trucks rely much more on external braking systems. And as we already know, depending only on friction brakes under heavy load and long descents is risky. That's exactly why systems like the Jake brake became essential. Instead of relying on airflow restriction like gasoline engines, the Jake brake creates resistance in a completely different way. By interrupting the engine's own compression cycle, it forces the engine to work against itself, something diesel engines don't naturally do. And this difference matters even more when you consider scale. When a small car can manage with basic engine braking, but a fully loaded truck moving downhill, that's a whole different level. Diesel engines needed help, and the Jake brake delivered it. But just how powerful is this system when it's fully engaged? That's where things get seriously impressive. Now let's talk about what really makes the Jake brake stand out. Its raw stopping power. This isn't some small assist system. When fully engaged, a compression-release brake can produce braking force close to the engine's own power output. In some cases, it can even go beyond that. For example, a 565 horsepower diesel engine can generate up to around 600 horsepower braking power at about 2,100 revolutions per minute. That's not just slowing down, that's serious resistance. Think about what that means in real driving. Instead of depending only on wheel brakes, the engine itself is doing the heavy lifting. The faster the engine spins, the more compression cycles happen, and the more energy gets absorbed. That's why engine speed plays such a big role. Higher RPM means stronger braking, and this is especially important for heavy trucks. When you're hauling massive loads, momentum becomes the biggest enemy. Once that weight starts moving downhill, it builds speed quickly. But with this level of braking power, drivers can control that speed without constantly touching the brake pedal. Another key detail, this braking force doesn't fade like traditional brakes. There's no friction heat building up at the wheels, so performance stays consistent even on long descents. It's also smooth and continuous. Instead of sharp braking, it delivers a steady slowing effect that helps maintain control. And so when drivers say the Jake brake is powerful, they're not exaggerating. It can match the engine's strength and flip it in the opposite direction. And once you understand that power, it becomes easier to see why different braking systems exist and how they compare to each other. Now let's clear up one of the biggest confusions in trucking. These systems may sound similar, but they work very differently. First, the Jake brake. This one operates inside the engine. It releases compressed air at the top of the compression stroke, turning the engine into a resistance machine. That's why it delivers the strongest braking force out of the three. Then you've got the exhaust brake. Instead of releasing pressure, this system does the opposite. It traps exhaust gases by restricting the exhaust flow. This creates back pressure inside the engine. That pressure pushes against the pistons and slows the engine down. In real numbers, exhaust brakes can generate braking force equal to about 60% to 80% of the engine's maximum power. That's solid, but still less than a Jake brake. And another key difference, exhaust brakes are much quieter. No explosive release of air, no loud crackling sound. That's why many manufacturers use them for everyday driving. Now compare both of these to standard engine braking. In gasoline engines, engine braking happens naturally when airflow is restricted, creating vacuum resistance. No special system needed. But in diesel engines, this natural effect is weak, which is why additional systems like Jake and exhaust brakes exist in the first place. So you can think of it like engine braking is basic, exhaust braking is moderate, and jake braking is maximum power. Each system has its role, but when it comes to heavy-duty control, one clearly stands above the rest. But power isn't the only advantage here. The real long-term benefits go way beyond just slowing down. Jake brake, most of the time, becomes a money-saving machine. Think about how often a heavy truck uses its service brakes. In normal conditions, brake components might last anywhere between 50,000 to 100,000 miles. But that number can drop fast if the driver is constantly riding the brakes, especially on long downhill routes. That's where the jake brake steps in. Instead of relying fully on friction brakes, the system takes over a huge part of the workload. In fact, many experienced drivers aim to let the engine brake handle up to 90% of the braking on long descents, using the foot brake only when needed. That's a massive shift in how the truck slows down. Less brake usage means less heat, and less heat means fewer breakdowns, fewer replacements, and lower maintenance costs over time. But it's not just about saving money, it's about reliability. When brakes overheat, they don't just wear out, they lose performance. That's when things get dangerous. By reducing that stress, the jake brake keeps the main braking system fresh and ready for emergencies. There's another hidden benefit too: fuel efficiency. During engine braking, many systems cut off fuel completely. This process, known as deceleration fuel cutoff, means the truck isn't burning fuel while slowing down. Over time, that adds up. So you're saving brakes, saving fuel, and reducing downtime, all at the same time. Not bad for a system that doesn't even touch the brake pedal. But while drivers love it, not everyone else does. And that's where the controversy begins. Let's talk about the part everyone notices first: the sound. That loud, sharp noise you hear when a truck slows down, that's the jake brake releasing compressed air at high pressure through the exhaust. It's not a small noise either. In fact, it can be 10 to 20 times more intense in sound pressure than a jackhammer, especially if the truck doesn't have a proper muffler. And that's where the trouble starts. In quiet areas, especially neighborhoods, towns, and city roads, this sound can be seriously disruptive. Early mornings, late nights, imagine that noise echoing through your street. Not exactly welcome. Because of this, many places have put strict rules in place. Yet you've probably seen signs like "no engine brake" or "engine braking prohibited." These aren't banning the technology itself, they're controlling the noise. In some regions, drivers can even face fines if they use engine brakes where they're restricted. The focus isn't safety, it's noise pollution. And truck drivers don't use jake brakes to be loud. They use them because they're effective and safer in many situations. But from the outside, people just hear the noise, not the purpose behind it. This created a real divide. On one side, residents want peace and quiet. On the other hand, drivers rely on a tool that helps them stay in control of massive vehicles. So the industry had to respond. Better mufflers, improved systems, and smarter designs to reduce sound without losing performance. But even with all that power, this system isn't perfect, and using it the wrong way can actually turn dangerous. The jake brake is powerful, but like any tool, it depends on how you use it. In the right situation, it's a lifesaver. Think long downhill roads, heavy loads, or stop-and-go highway traffic. Instead of constantly hitting the brake pedal, drivers can control speeds smoothly using the engine itself. For a truck that can weigh up to 40 tons, that extra control makes a huge difference. It's especially useful on steep descents. The jake brake helps manage speed early, reducing the risk of losing control before things get serious. But here's where things can go wrong. On slippery roads like ice, snow, or wet surfaces, the jake brake can actually work against you. Because it slows the drive wheels directly through the engine, it can cause those wheels to lose traction. And once that happens, the truck can start to skid. In worst cases, this leads to a jackknife, where the trailer swings out of line with the cab. These situations can turn dangerous fast, especially if the truck isn't properly aligned or is lightly loaded. That's why drivers are trained to avoid using the jake brake in low traction conditions. Some trucks even allow different braking levels so drivers can reduce the strength when needed. The system itself isn't dangerous, but misuse is. Proper training and judgment are everything. One wrong move, and the same tool that adds control can take it away. And as technology keeps evolving, new systems are stepping in to make braking even smarter and safer. The Jake brake changed the game, but it didn't stop the evolution of truck braking systems. As trucking demands grew, engineers started building new ways to control speed without relying on friction brakes. One of the first alternatives was the exhaust brake. Instead of releasing pressure, it creates back pressure in the exhaust system, generating up to 60 pounds per square inch of pressure to slow the engine down. It's quieter and simpler, making it a popular option for many trucks. Then came hydraulic retarders. These systems use fluid resistance to slow down the drivetrain. When activated, fluid is pushed into a chamber where rotating parts create drag. The result? Smooth, consistent braking with almost no noise. Unlike traditional brakes, there's no direct contact wearing things down. And it doesn't stop there. Electric retarders take things even further. They use magnetic forces to create resistance. No friction, no fluids, just electromagnetic drag slowing the vehicle. These systems are extremely quiet and don't rely on engine components at all. Modern trucks often combine multiple systems. A driver might use an exhaust brake for moderate control and switch to a Jake brake when maximum power is needed. This layered approach gives better control across different driving conditions. On top of that, newer technologies like variable valve systems and high-power density designs are making engine braking even more efficient and precise. What started as one breakthrough has now turned into a full lineup of advanced braking solutions, all built around one goal: control without compromise. And with all these systems working together, trucking today is safer, smarter, and more controlled than ever before. So from a near disaster in 1931 to a system now used in millions of trucks, the Jake brake didn't just improve braking, it redefined control for heavy vehicles. It turned engines into powerful tools that protect drivers, save costs, and prevent dangerous situations on the road. Today, whether it's a steep mountain descent or heavy traffic, this technology plays a silent role in keeping things safe. Well, not always silent. So next time you hear that loud engine roar, will you see it as noise or as a safety system doing its job? And if you were behind the wheel of a fully loaded truck, would you trust only your brakes? If you made it this far, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for such content. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And thanks for watching.